Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Konashiro. Every new school year brings some new faces to Fremont Unified's impressive roster of principals. The district has a pair of new principals this fall, and we're so excited to meet them. One of them is an FUSD graduate and a longtime employee. The other newcomer to Fremont brings 14 years of experience as a principal. Here to speak about their new roles with the district during these very interesting times are Mission San Jose Elementary Principal Katy Carter and Gomes Elementary Principal Pamela Hughes. Thank you so much for you being here. I know you guys have been very busy, but for anyone who has not had the pleasure of meeting you yet, can you tell us a little bit about, your backgrounds and what made you come to Fremont? I mean, Katy, you're easy, but we'll start with you. So, I mean, you're a longtime employee, you're a graduate of Fremont, you're a hometown girl, go.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that you're a principal, I mean, was that an easy transition for you?
Yeah. Thanks, KK. It's been wonderful. As you said, I have been part of FUSD in one capacity or another for most of my life. In a way, it seems like I've made a full circle here because I am a proud graduate of Mission San Jose
Oh,
High
wow.
School. And now I am at one of the proud feeder schools, Mission San Jose Elementary School. In between all of those experiences, I had the pleasure of being a teacher for many years at Thornton Junior High School,
Okay.
where I taught science, mostly seventh grade. After that, I became an instructional coach with the curriculum and instruction department.
Okay.
And then prior to my current position, I was an assistant principal over at Warm Springs Elementary School. Also to mention, I'm a proud parent of three FUSD current students. And I feel that my background looking at the education system from all these different angles has really prepared me for where I'm at right now. Understanding how it's a complex network of everybody working together. And I feel that the experiences I've had all along this way really prepare me for new challenges. Of course,
Yeah.
we are all experiencing lots of new challenges, but I'm ready for a rough road, hoping for the best, but ready to work with my amazing colleagues to work through the challenging times as well.
Well, we're glad to have you. So,
Thank you so much.
Pamela, tell us about yourself since you're brand new to Fremont.
I am brand new to Fremont. My previous experiences were right over the freeway in Newark, where I was a teacher and then a principal at a couple of different schools. And so I've made the transition to Fremont. Fremont has, such an excellent reputation for caring about kids and putting kids first. And after a long time, I wouldn't have made a change to just any old place. So really, Fremont was one of the few places where I would consider taking a next step. And
Nice.
so when the opportunity arose and I knew that there were going to be some openings, I went ahead and applied, and it was a big move for me. And
Yeah.
really, it's because Fremont has a great reputation. I know, the education community is kind of small, so we know people from everywhere and we mix and mingle. And so I already knew some teachers that are great friends who said only wonderful things about their district and their
Nice.
schools. And so I made the move, and it was a big one, but I'm really excited to be part of the Fremont district.
So, Pam, Newark is great, but they have their own culture, like Fremont has its own culture. Now that you've had some time to settle down, as so to speak, as much as you can nowadays, um, has the transition from one culture to another been easy? Has it been great? Has it been bad? Is there things that you'd like to, share with us with surprises?
Sure. So luckily, when you're the new person, you get to just be quiet and listen a lot. So that's what
Yeah.
I've really been doing because every school, every district has its own culture. And so my job coming in isn't to bring in, this is Pam's stuff and it's going to be this way. My job is to kind of absorb and see what's going on and then, talk to people about what they what they want to improve and where we want to go together as a team. So it's difficult, obviously, to do that during distance learning where I can't actually meet teachers or meet parents. And so we've been doing a lot of Zooming, but it's been it's more difficult this year than it would be in a regular year, just to get to know people in the families.
Mm-hmm. Now, Katy, I know you grew up here, you went through the school district, you went through all the admin different levels, but to be a principal, and now that you've settled in a couple times, is there any surprises from being assistant to now a principal? I mean, was that a big change for you?
That so much is the same.
Okay.
I really had a wonderful experience at Warm Springs Elementary School for 2.5 years, really doing all of the main functionings that a principal would. So I feel that I was very well prepared. But it all becomes a little bit more real when becoming the principal, and it's with great pride. Yeah, absolutely. It's with great pride that I take on this job, and I feel, very responsible for, making good decisions involving staff, students, and family. I can, build on what Pam said, and I fully agree. It's all about, establishing these relationships and taking this first year to, survey the great, traditions and programs that are a part of the school.
Yeah.
I'm so, fortunate that the school was left in fabulous condition by my predecessor. I have happy teachers, wonderful students, and parents who are eager to participate.
Nice.
So I'm just thrilled, and I'm just eager to continue to get to know the great things about my new school.
That's great. Now, Pam brought this up. So, the distance learning, it is hard. It is really hard. And when you're a people person like I am, I need to see your face in person. I need to see your expressions. I need to relate to you in person. So this has been a big transition for my side. But for you as a principal who have to deal with the students, who have to deal with the teachers, who have to deal with the janitorial services, the food services, the psychology department, and of course parents, how are you able to make everyone feel they're still part of your school? I mean, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Pam can agree. There's lots of communication happening. So much is happening on emails and memos and websites. But I also really enjoy the times that we can come together, albeit virtually, where we can see each other face to face during, small group collaborations, staff meetings,
Okay.
school site council meetings, parent meetings, conferences. But above all, the most entertaining communication that I have, I've opened up a principal's office hour. So today I had a fourth grade student pop in, and we just chatted for a while, and it's just wonderful because that's what we're here for, is the students.
Yeah. Pam, do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And it's lonely at school without the students. It's far too quiet. We're trying to do things that make students remember the fun stuff about school. So still having a spirit day. So even though we're not all together, we're still all going to wear our pajamas on the same day, or, crazy hair on the same day. Those fun kind of traditional school activities. We're having kids draw gophers. That's our mascot. And send them to school, and then we're hanging them up around in the windows, just because we need to have kid work. We need to have our children present with us, even if they aren't there. So we're asking them to draw things. We're starting with our counselor. She's helping us get started with I think it's called a mental health challenge, and kids are contributing things. And then we're having drawing and prizes for them. But we want to have ways to have them connected other than with their wonderful teacher in their classrooms and their group of 30. We want them to remember that they're part of a bigger school community, and we want to make sure they feel that we're hugging them and that we're embracing them, and that they're important to us.
Nice, excellent. Okay, so for any parent out there or any of our viewers that are watching who have not had the opportunity to zoom in with you for whatever reason, we're going to start with you, Pam. What is your philosophy as far as education goes?
Well, I really believe that our job is educating students, and all students can achieve at high levels. And we, as the adults, have to figure out what the students need to make sure that they can meet their goals and be ready for their next adventure. So we want to have rigorous academics, we want to have excellent instruction, and we want to have fun and joy as part of our day. Um,
Yeah.
that's really what it's all about. I feel honored to be able to be part of children's lives in this section of
Oh,
their journey, and that we can give them their best start, their love of learning, their feeling safe and secure and confident.
yeah.
So that's really what I think every day we're all working towards.
Yeah, that's great. I love that safe and you're part of us. Yeah. So, Katie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll just copy Pam's answer.
You know?
No, but I feel that, yeah, no, I truly feel that, school is about learning. And, we do have a rigorous academic learning environment, but beyond that, we really need to involve the physical, social, emotional, and linguistic growth for all of our students. And all the while we're virtual, we can still provide those opportunities for students to grow in all of those dimensions.
Right.
So we've been working hard to provide those experiences for students as well. And I believe that we're so fortunate in our school district and also at my individual school is that we have a very diverse school community, and I feel that's such a great asset. And together we can fully, achieve greatness by pulling upon our strengths and sharing our interests, talents, and personalities with each other. I also feel that involving parents and families is critical to complete that school community for our students, and we're stronger together.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so Katie, I have to know this. You're a graduate of FUSD, longtime employee as an assistant principal. But first, before you became assistant principal, what was that influence, the driving force that made you switch from teaching to admin? What made you decide to do that?
Yeah, for all of my life, I don't know if this was from my parents' influence, but I've always been told to take advantage of opportunities that avail themselves. So as a teacher, I just said yes to everything. I juggled a lot. I was on a lot of different committees. I started engaging myself in some collaborations for science instruction, that I was able to work with teachers from around the Bay Area. And it was wonderful to have that inter-district collaboration. And I think that was really a gateway for me to explore bigger resources and to be able to provide more to school staff and students in terms of curriculum. Um, and again, that I feel like that was my gateway into the things, how absolutely a teacher has a huge impact on students, but being an instructional leader can fully embrace those same philosophies of having great impacts on teachers and students and families in a different capacity.
That's great. Now, Pam, were you a teacher before this?
I sure was. I taught second grade and fifth grade for a combined total of 9 years. So,
Okay.
and I also, was that teacher who did everything. So if anybody asked me to do something, I was like, sure, I can do that. Sure, I can do that. And so I became a literacy coordinator.
Okay.
And in that position, I worked it at my school site, but I went in and taught students, and I also coach teachers in all areas of language arts from K through 6th grade. So I actually started going into classes and seeing other grade levels and how teachers worked with their students. And what happened to me is, with all of those other responsibilities and going into all the classes, I started seeing the school from a different perspective. So as a teacher, it was all about my 20 or my 32 students, depending on the grade level. They were my focus and everything revolved around them. But when I started going to other classrooms and seeing how other things fit together, I started seeing a different perspective. I started seeing the school from kind of above. And that's, I also had mentors who were encouraging me to become an administrator, because at one point I thought that was the craziest idea in the whole wide world, because I love teaching.
Yeah.
And I really value teachers and think that they're experts. And so I was not ambitious. I was not like climbing the ladder of education. I was just given opportunities, and I took those opportunities. And then when people were suggesting that, I was like, oh, okay, I'll see what happens. And so that was kind of my evolution from teacher to administrator.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to be hired in my district as an administrator. So when I started as that year one principal, I knew everybody and I knew who to call for help. And I had lots of help and support. And that really, for me, it made a big difference.
Okay. Well, now that you're in Fremont, and I'm sure, Katy, you can attest to this, our principals, like any other world, is small group. Have you been able to use this group of important people in amongst the Fremont Unified as a support, as a mentorship? Do they help you? Did you find them supportive when you first joined? How did that all pan out?
Yeah, I've been collaborating with some of our current principals for a surprising nearly 20 years. By coincidence, there are several current principals whose children were my students. And so again, there's that full circle. But I do have, wonderful relationships with so many of my colleagues. I'm especially, fortunate to have a mentor this year for my first year being a principal. Another principal within our attendance area has been wonderful, just a phone call or an email away, giving, candid advice, always having that thought partner there. And I know that any day, anytime I can reach out to any of the elementary principals and just check in, and because, two heads are better than one.
Yes.
And, we need to be smart about the way that we work. And sometimes that means not reinventing the wheel, but seeking expertise and resources and support from others within the community.
That's great. Now, Pam, because you're new, did you feel like they were supportive? Did they embrace you?
Absolutely. And I also have a mentor, which is really nice as an experienced principal, because they think, oh, she knows everything, right? But so much is different. And it's just so nice to have someone who isn't going to be bothered when you call. My mentor would never laugh at me for any of the questions that I'm asking. It's a very safe spot. But I've also found the other elementary principals to be really just gracious. I've actually stolen an idea from Katy that she just gave the idea.
Borrowed.
She's doing shout outs to her staff. And I was like, that is a great idea. I definitely want to do that. And so she shared with me what she was doing, and I've now implemented it. So, we get ideas from each other, and, we're a small group, but you're a giant group compared to what I'm used to. So it's really nice to have so many people that you can bounce ideas off of and get background information and all of that. So they're a wonderful, wonderful elementary team.
Nice. Okay. So because of what we have to deal with these days, which is not easy sometimes, but under these circumstances, can you tell us what we can expect from the school year of 2020 to 2021?
Sure. We can expect excellent instruction, rigorous curriculum. We can expect
There's still homework?
high standards, plenty of homework. We want to keep you busy. you out of trouble, keep you working. But no, we want to keep as much of the academics as we can through distance learning, just because we know we always feel that pressure to make sure that our students are learning what they need to at the fastest pace that we can do it comfortably and that they can learn. We have high expectations for them, so we want to make sure that they're reaching those expectations and that we have time to fill in if they need extra help. So all of those things. Even though it's distance learning or if it's not distance learning, those kind of things they're always there.
Okay. Katy, do you feel the same way?
Oh, absolutely. And I can just add that that you can expect a lot of flexibility and patience on the behalf of everyone within our community. Fortunately, we've seen that. I tried to set that tone from the beginning that's the way that we're going to be successful this year, is just by being patient with each other. I think that we can also expect a continued positive outlook and adaptability, again, amongst everyone in our community. But what I've noticed is stunningly remarkable how well even our youngest learners have adapted to technology use. It's incredible to see even a kindergarten use their Clever badge to log in on a brand new Chromebook, remembering multiple passwords, Google logins,
Wow.
Seesaw logins at a breakneck speed. So we are fully going to be creating a new generation of extremely tech savvy students.
Yes, that's great. Well, Katy and Pamela, thank you so much for being here. I know you've been very busy and a little stressed with everything going on, but welcome from the community. We welcome you aboard. Glad to have you. And I look forward to meeting you in person one day.
Yay. Thank you, KK.
Thank you. From everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate watching and we'll see you soon. Bye.